G'day guys and welcome to today's episode of Idol Talking with Nollsie. Now, Australian Idol is over for this year, but we wanted to chat to someone I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm very excited to talk to. So, Tim, who have we got in the show today?
We've got someone very exciting, an Australian Idol original gangster, so to speak. But
Absolutely.
Before we get to that wonderful person, it is release day for this.
When I believe it, I can fly. When I believe in something big and
Currently number one on the iTunes rock charts. Believe it, released today.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one, mate. I've been sitting on it for a little while, and I wrote it with Benji and Joel Madden, and a good friend of mine, Lindsay Rhymes, who's producing in the States as we speak. So, mate, yeah, really, really excited for this one. Ever since we wrote it, I was sort of dreamed of being able to play it. It's got a really great message. It's a real positive message, like similar to Shine and Lift. So I'm sort of hopefully going back down that vein again of just positivity in the music, which I think is a really great thing to have these days. But yeah, really, really excited, mate. It's a good old rock song. So yeah, it'll be the band and I will be rehearsing this in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be playing it at a few festivals coming up, which is really exciting, mate. So yeah, finally got this one done. Re-recorded and remixed and mastered, so really excited. So yeah, it's going really well. I think it's on at number one on the rock chart in Australia as we speak. So really excited, mate. It couldn't have kicked off better.
Absolutely. So once you've finished listening to this fantastic episode, go and have a listen to the song. Save it in your libraries, whether you're on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon, wherever you listen to your music, iTunes, get it. It's a fantastic song. Good to see you've still got it, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. Well, mate, it's the first sort of time I've been able to put out a really rocky release over the years. Record labels and that we all sort of get together and decide. And I was sort of I wanted to do more rockier stuff, but obviously the labels and that want to sort of push it down a pop sort of road. So I'm really stoked to be able to have something that, that we've sort of chosen and we're all on the same page with and has that little bit of a rockier edge to it, mate. So I'm really, really excited about it.
Also, you may have already noticed that Shannon's audio isn't coming through as clear as he normally does in episodes. We've got a bit of a technical issue, so we're zooming in his audio today. Hopefully we'll have that rectified for next time. Now on to today's guests. As I said before, an Australian Idol OG was in the first season with
Absolutely.
you, Shannon. Nearly won the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And still is one of Australia's best vocalists without doubt. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
please welcome, finally, it took a couple of weeks to make this happen, Cosima De Vito.
G'day, darling. How
I'm
you
so
going?
sorry. Sorry. It was a bit of a
You're right. You got a bit on your plate these days. Couple of little rugrats too, I see.
Yes. I've got one who makes up for five. She's like 5 years old with the opinion of a 20-year-old. Oh my God.
I know. That happens, eh? That happens. It's great to see you, hun. Great to see you.
You too. How have you been?
Oh, really good. Yeah, really good. Just doing the poking along, I suppose.
Yeah,
You look great, though. You look terrific.
Thank you very much. So you look exactly the same.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm a bit more weather beaten than you are. That's for sure.
I know,
That's for sure.
I know the feeling.
Oh, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on, Dale. Really appreciate it. I know everyone at home would have been really looking forward to us getting you on the show. So it's great to have you here, and thanks for coming on.
Congratulations as well for doing. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we're having a bit of a go at the podcast thing. It's been a lot of fun, actually. It's been a great way of connecting with, obviously a lot of people that I haven't seen like yourself in a long time. So it's really, really good to be able to chat with everyone, especially during this whole new season of Idols. Did you watch this year's series?
Can I be honest with you? I started watching it and then I started getting annoyed. With some
You gotta love it.
And then I
Yeah.
started going on social media, and I'm like, oh, should I be doing this? Should I be like it? Should I? But it was just certain things were just frustrating me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, yeah.
overall, it was okay. I know it was never going to be exactly the same. I
Yeah.
know that in my heart.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it and you're like, no, why are you doing that? And we didn't do that. And why? I just got very passionate.
Yeah, it does. It brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it? I remember sitting back watching it.
I know, and I just found myself being really overly protective over the original.
Yeah.
They would change. And I'm like, but why are you doing that? We didn't do that, and no, that's wrong. And so I was just, I didn't realize I would get so passionate about it, but I was just, the original was the original.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
territorial about the original series.
Extremely. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just,
looking out for the contestants, though, weren't you?
Always.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Always, because it's like we know how hard it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I just watch them and I see the way they get treated sometimes, or the fact it's a hard show, but the times have changed, and you know, when focus gets stolen away from the contestants, and
I agree.
about the judges and other things, I get really it just upsets me.
Yeah, no, I fully understand where you're coming from, hun. It's just a little bit. It's all a little bit becomes a bit of a game show, then, doesn't it? When it's not about the contestants. You know?
That's right, and for us, it wasn't. It was real, and I think that's why. And I think that's why everyone at home watching just became a part of it, because they had the time to get to know us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were just being us.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Coming along for the ride, and they were a part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100% I do. Yeah. No, it was by the time the sort of judges got involved, they weren't trying to take over the show much. You know what I mean? It wasn't a big hullabaloo.
Other TV shows, and I think I kind of expressed that as I think I expressed that. This just seems like a repeat of other ones that we've seen over the years.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I'm sorry for them. I just feel sorry for the contestants.
Yeah. They did great, though. Obviously, you know, very similar situation to what we went through. Obviously, ours was a fair bit longer than theirs. So, you know, it was sort of week in, week out sort of grind for us, like over 12 weeks, which was pretty tough. I
think it was like more than 6 months. I remember I seeing a card the other day of when I got through in WA, and it was June. Our final was in November.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. It was it just went on forever a bit, didn't it? And they slowly whittled us away until it was.
The ratings were a lot better when you did it.
That's right. They wore us down.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
Literally, they wore you down, obviously, Cosima.
Absolutely.
Your famous exit, which you know,
it's
so much
really
flack
funny.
for. It was terrible.
No, that's all right. It's really funny because now everyone talks about nodules. It's now it's like a household name. Like someone show and it's like, they got nodules. Oh yeah, and everyone talks about. I know what nodules are. But 20 years ago when I said it, it was like, why are you doing that? What's wrong with you? Why are you talking about it? I'm like, because I'm not well. Like 20 years ago, it was taboo. Oh my God, we don't talk about it. But it was really simple. Like, I got the flu.
Yep.
It's really boring. I got the flu during the show. You know our schedule.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just every week it just got more hoarse, and I'm like deeper and deeper and deeper, and then I just had nodules. It's really boring.
No, but it's a very it's a massive thing, you know, because I mean I obviously been there as well. The amount of workload put on our voices every week was just ridiculous. Like we were singing every day, learning new material every day, learning group songs, recording, and interviews. That's right, because that's the worst thing you can do for your voice is talk. You're better off if you could sing. It's actually better for your voice. So I've been told by somebody. I think that was a doctor.
They had Thursday Idol too. Do you remember the show?
We did, yeah. That's right, Inside Idol. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it was ridiculously tough, especially because you sing hard too and loud. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you did cop a lot of undue pressure. Undue criticism after that. Like, how do you feel looking back on the experience now, Cosima?
Oh, look, I love it. It was obviously, we can all say it was one of the greatest points in our life in terms of our career. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of learning. Like I said, I was only a year younger than you, so I was 27.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was 27, but I just jumping into that kind of limelight and going from nothing to 100 in like a short span of months. I might as well have been I was a rookie. Like
absolutely. Yeah.
And it was just the learning experience and just learning how to deal with all that, public pressure and all that stuff that gets said about you. Now it doesn't faze me in the least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone says something, whatever. But back then, it was all new to us, and it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you encounter things, and it's just like, whatever, water under the bridge. Let's talk about it again. But it was a great experience, but it was also a hard time because I had to learn so much in such a short period of time, like we all did.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to, over time, now as we're a bit older too, you sort of have that thick skin a little bit too, I mean, thrust into that situation back then. None of us knew what was coming from 1 minute to the next. I think that was part of the beauty of the show, though. That whole excitement. We didn't know what was happening. The viewing public didn't know it, neither did they. And I think we're all sort of, on the edge of our seat the whole time, unknowingly of what was going to get thrown at us. So I think that was part of the original, purity of the very first series. I think, which can never be sort of brought back.
No, that's right. And when people say to me, even people come up to me now today and go, "Oh, I remember you is it really 20 years ago?" And I say exactly the same thing. I'm like, none of us knew. No one in Australia. And we didn't know, and that was what was exciting. Then the following seasons, everyone, you kind of tend to learn. The Contestants started learning about the little tricks that maybe they could get ahead with. And it slowly started to change a little bit, but ours was just pure. It was just...
absolutely. Like deer in the headlights, wasn't it? Like, well, holy dooly, what the hell's happening?
Oh my God. I remember even right at the beginning, how we had our... How we had to sing just for the judges at the top 50, the top 50 to get into the top 12. And I remember guys telling me on national TV, go fix your eyebrows. Can you imagine him saying that today?
No, absolutely. Yeah, actually, we had Dicko on, and we did talk. We touched on a lot of those things that obviously, would be very frowned upon these days if you brought them up. We didn't even go near the pulling his dress thing. I think we sort of thought we might just leave that one go through to the keeper. I think
that's been covered. I think
even to talk about it now is a bit much.
I know, but at the same time, like I don't know about you, but he was my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, the industry's, cutthroat like that in the real world, even though people don't want to talk about it or people say you can't talk about it, within the industry itself, still this day, it's still as harsh as that behind closed doors. They accept them decisions are made behind closed doors about an upcoming artist or the potential of a signing of an artist, you know what I mean? But obviously it's not out in public.
No. And I think for me, because even at the first audition in Perth, he was the one that said no to me. And then Mark Usher said yes to come to Sydney. Yeah. And I remember even back then I was like, you know what, I'm going to change this man. His opinion of me. So for me, I used that as a fuel. For me, it was a fuel to be better. It's always a challenge. And so for me, I welcomed
his criticism.
Yeah, and I just used it to fuel me. Like it was now it's a little bit, now you can't say nothing. And it's just like, okay, now it's TV's boring.
And you make a great point there. I think people these days sort of want to look to be offended or something instead of actually going, well, I'll show him, you know what I mean, or I'll show them, instead of they just sort of go like, oh, you can't say that, and the problem is a lot of people still think that sort of thing these days, as much as they don't think it's okay to say it, if you know what I mean. They might be still thinking of it, and that was the beauty about Dicko, is he said a lot of things that people were thinking. So I think that's why the Australian public ended up, supporting Dicko and falling in love with him.
Well, I think also they forget that he was actually representing BMG at the time. He was
That's right.
representing the record company. So
Yeah,
whoever
absolutely,
got
yeah.
the deal at the end,
Yep.
he was looking out for the record company.
That's right, yeah.
For the next star, and he was slowly grooming us. And he was grooming us to be better artists and to
what they needed. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, absolutely.
You look at it, I guess.
We've spoken a lot on this podcast during the series. We were doing review episodes, and one of the things we were talking about a lot of the time was the fact that a lot of the judges this time were telling these kids that they were going to be playing stadiums, that they were stars, that they didn't need to be taught everything.
They're ready to go.
Obviously, Shannon, knows, as you do as well, Cosima, in a different way. You kind of went the independent route and faced, those challenges as well. But it is better ultimately, I think, and Shannon agrees, and I'm guessing you probably agree, to get sometimes the hard conversations are the most valuable ones you can have.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, they were, we were a little bit annoyed. I was personally, just because every week was going, oh, you don't, I can see you now doing stadiums. I can't wait to buy an album. And I'm just going, oh, just stop. Encourage them and give them advice, you know what I mean? But don't give them a false sense of, success before they've done anything, because we both know the hard work is after the show, even though the show was so much hard work.
Right, that's right. And it's not even about, oh, I got a record deal. Hey, I've made it. Well, no, it's not about that.
No.
It's endurance. It's about, okay, you might do an album and it flops, but what do you do? Do you stop?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Continue. And it's about continuing. I remember I did a TV show a few years ago, and the presenter said to me, "Cos, you're like a hedgehog." I'm like, he goes, "You just keep popping your head up."
Yeah.
Every now and then, pop your head up again. And I'm like, I don't know. Is that a compliment? I think so. Because, and then I saw other idols who did the show and then disappeared. And they're like, you'll say, oh, yeah, because I love music.
Yeah.
Okay, independent. I might not be doing the stadiums, but I'm doing what I love. And you know what? At the end of the day, I tell people, you just need one track that connects with a great deal of people. Yep. Or do a show, or you do another reality, or you do something, and it just connects you with people. And that's what it. But don't do it. You won't get the opportunity if you just stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a barrier in front of you, then you're finished. And with a TV show, people will remember you. But as soon as those cameras finish, that's where the hard work begins.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree
and
more.
They don't do that. And that's, I got really I get really upset when they bring out the TV shows when they have the kids under 18. I'm so against that.
Yeah. As a mum, for sure.
To be working on your self-esteem and you're already trying to work out who you are. You don't need to be going on a TV show where you just get belittled and put down. Like you don't need. You need to be working on your craft. That's what I worked on it till. And to get to a point where you know who you are, you got to leave a few little glitches to learn along the way. Yeah. But you know who you are, and if someone says something to you, you're not going to break down and do something regretful. Do you know what I mean? And that's important that they need to learn that.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
It's interesting. It's been 3 weeks since the show ended. I wonder how some of these contestants who came second, third, fourth, were told that they're going to conquer the world. I wonder how they're feeling right now. Probably a couple of weeks since.
They're through what we all went through. There's the and then there's the
the big dip. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and whether are you going to continue or are you just going to stop?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And a negative thing during that can sort of really you can shut down. Then after that, and sort of feel beaten. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's anything can happen at any time and some at different stages. And just because you have something that doesn't connect the way you hoped it would doesn't mean that it's all over.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you got to just keep doing what you love, and we're lucky that we can.
Yeah,
we've been fortunate enough to do that, and we've still got, fans. Obviously they're a lot older now.
as we all are, I think, huh?
Well, it's interesting though. You go to one of Nollsie's shows, and it's mums and daughters. It's the mums who watched the show all those years ago, and there's a new generation. 18-year-old daughter comes along with mum, and she's singing along to all the songs as well.
The amount of times I've heard "My Mum Loves You," hey Nollsie, my mum loves you.
Yeah, or they weren't even born, or they weren't even.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Mum come up to me. She goes, "This is my daughter, but she's 15 years old, and obviously she wasn't born." And I'm thinking, oh my God, like the old.
Yeah.
Cosima, what was it like living in a house with Nollsie and Millsy and Paulini and all these people? Was that a fun experience, a challenging experience?
Oh, look, it's you've got 12 people living together. You're going to get along with some people more than what you would with others. Like Shannon, my God, Shannon gets along with everyone. Some people are easy. Some people are more easygoing than others. That's just how it is, and you connect with some people more than you connect with others. But overall, it was fun because it was a new experience. But it was also there was also the pressures of the show. So, were we at our most relaxed state? Probably not.
yeah, absolutely not, for sure.
So
was it a supportive environment for you?
Sorry?
Was it a supportive environment?
I think overall, absolutely. Oh my God, overall, absolutely, it was. Yeah. Obviously, now I think with the shows now that they bring in a lot of psychologists. I think we got a psychologist towards the end because they were maybe need it, and it's it's a bit late now. It's the end of the show.
Absolutely.
Now it's a really big deal, but no, overall it was fine. It was 12 people from different. And the other thing, there was a massive age difference.
Yeah, some of them are kids, and we're like the older.
I couldn't connect probably as well because I was 27, and Shannon was 28, and then everyone else was 20, 21.
Yeah, but everyone wanted the best for each other. They didn't. It was very supportive in the fact that obviously nobody wanted to see anybody fail, and everyone wanted to see everybody do well. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone ever celebrated somebody going home. We're all heartbroken after each. Great, stoked to be through, but all heartbroken that we're losing someone.
Mondays going back to the house was always really depressing.
Yeah, absolutely was. Yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just sad. It was just sad.
It was,
smaller and smaller and smaller. But
absolutely.
Everyone got along. Everyone got along.
Millsy didn't have any of his orgies during this time that he's written about in his book
time
recently.
No, funny enough, no.
No.
Definitely not. No, it's funny. We were all just friends. It was
we were. Yeah. And hoping for the best.
I know.
And no one knew it would be as big as it was. So I guess you were living this sort of unique experience together.
We're all very busy too, mate. There was people leaving, coming, going from the house, like contestants all the time. You'd have to rush off and do a vocal rehearsal or a recording session or something like that. So always in and out of the house.
In stores, remember, we were hardly ever. There was hardly ever good at. The one memory I have is of guys sitting at the piano or at the keyboard. I think we had a keyboard. He was just sitting there. I remember in one of the rooms. That's one of the I have. We didn't really have much downtime.
No, we didn't. No, not at all. No, not at all.
So after the show finished, as we sort of touched on a bit earlier, you released an album. You had a #1 song with the cover of When the War Is Over, and a gold album, sold over 50,000 copies. But you didn't do that with the big label like old mate Nollsie did. You did this independently, which gold album independently, massive achievement.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How was that experience doing it all yourself, basically?
I again, it was an amazing time, but a lot of lessons were learned. Would I go back and do exactly the same lessons? Probably not, with what I know now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hindsight's
great.
A lot of money was spent, because doing it independently, you've got to spend the money. Would I do it again now? No, probably not. I've learned. But it was that year especially was a big, massive learning curve. Also because I you know, it set the wheel for many, many years of a very long, draining management court battle that followed, which is very, very common. But it's a big, big learning curve that year. So there was a lot of positives, but there was a lot of lessons learned. So you know, the life is always a pendulum, isn't it? You get the good with the bad.
Well, you can't have one without the other sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a crazy one, especially with the management side of things. It's always so hard, you know, because there's so many sort of sharks out there, if you know what I mean.
So I was so positive, and I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and then you all around you going, yes, we can do this, and we can do this, and this is how much it's going to cost, and we can do this, and you get swept up in it, and sometimes they're the wrong people. I had
very often it's the wrong people, that's for sure.
People around me.
Yeah. Hey, good people around you.
Now I do.
Yeah, now you do. Yeah, cool.
No, not many.
No, it's hard, that, isn't it?
Yeah, back then when you were having those issues, what did that give? You know, how did you feel about the music industry and the entertainment industry when you were going through court battles and all that? You know, did you want to get out? Did you?
I can't even tell you how many times I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
How many times I'm so over it. I'm so over it. And then there comes a point where you don't want to sing anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of go, what am I doing? I don't even know what I want to sing anymore. You just lose it. And so what I did was I just stopped for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to kind of clear my head.
Yeah.
And then, as I always do, like a hedgehog, it's just like bang, 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 bang. Keep coming back because I love it so much. But I just disappear for a while, just get my bearings back. You know, some people say to me, you know, why do you do that? Why aren't you on social media? I'm like, because that's just who I am. I just need to walk away. Yeah. I don't like, as silly as it sounds, I don't like being overly public. As I know, I know I did that exit on Idol because I had to tell people why I had to leave. But when I'm going through stuff, I don't like going on social media and go, I just I retreat. Maybe this is going me. I just retreat, get my bearings again, get my strength again, and then I come back again. And then I come back.
Yeah, but it has changed so much too over the years. Like I remember, you know, being supporting bands and being a fan of bands and artists and things like that. And you'd only know about them what was put out. Like it didn't. These days, there's this such a personal connection with your life, with your where you are, your home. Like it's everybody can get so up close and personal now. And through social media, you know, I sort of partially like the old days of when rockers or artists had a mystique about them, you know, and everyone could guess what they were really about and who they were as a person, but nobody really knew. So it was all just it all added to the excitement of the character of who they were or the artists that they were. But now you sort of, you know what color underpants anyone's wearing on any given day. You know what I mean? It's a bit crazy.
It's crazy. And then, like, you know, I get the whole, you know, you've got to be on there all the time.
Yeah.
And I admit,
it's draining. It's so draining.
On there. But I don't want to, like, I know some people are on there 24/7. I get it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not from that era that I don't want to live my life through a lens. I just want to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
On there more often, and you know, I'm trying to be, but it's
hard though, isn't it? Because you find yourself starting to try and make content out of when there's no content there to be made, if you know what I mean, and it sort of then becomes forced, and it's not natural. No, I don't like that either. It's really hard that side of it.
Actually, and I want to share it. Fantastic, but if I've got to sit there every day and go, okay, let me just show people what I'm having for breakfast.
Yeah. It seems a bit. It's like a bit desperation sort of things to me. But in saying that too, a lot of a lot of the sort of fans out there really love to see that side of things and
No, they do, I know.
really see, So it's a double-edged sword a little bit, isn't it?
It is a little bit. Maybe I could meet everyone in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You can make it whatever you want. I think that's up to the individual. You know what I mean? So Cosmo, how do you feel like about the music industry in general? Like now after all this time?
I've made my peace with it.
Yeah.
I've made my peace with it. Now I'm all about just making music that means something to me. Also because I'm Italian as well, I love doing the Italian music as well. I love producing that as well because that's important to me. It's part of my culture.
Yeah, of course.
I love just doing music now that means something to me. If one person loves it, fantastic.
Yeah, but you're not doing it for any other reason but for yourself.
Yeah, and I've got to, and again, like for example, they told me to go on Idol to do a few little spots here and there, but my heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm with you. I know, but my heart wasn't in it. Just didn't feel right to me at this point in time because I didn't want to get back on. It was the one, first one coming back after 20 years or less than 20, but I'm talking about hours. And I would have had to talk about the nodules and I just, my heart wasn't in it. And now, like, if it doesn't feel right, what should I do?
Yeah, no, good on you. That's great. And it's sort of a chapter in your life that's that's closed now, and you've got other priorities.
Yeah, but not only that, if you're doing it, you're going to do it. You need to do something wholeheartedly.
Yeah, of course.
40, 46. I'll be 47 this year. Like you'd think by now, like I'm at a stage where I can go, okay, if this doesn't feel right, why should I be doing it? Why am I doing it?
Yeah, that's great. Good on you. That's terrific.
And being independent, I love it. Yes, it's a little bit harder. I don't get the exposure that you would get with a major, but I get to take
be
my
more creative
things and do things my way, and for me, I'm happy with that. It makes me happy. So do what feels right, I guess.
Yeah, so, good on you.
I'm fine with it, and if people say stuff to me, it just goes over my head.
Yeah.
Okay, opinion. Like you said, they don't really know. People think that I get that as well. There's that whole me, but they don't really. It's always nice to keep that little piece of to yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And everyone's always got an opinion too. I remember Molly Meldrum said to me at the Logies one time, he said, you're not that good of a singer. You won't make it overseas. And it just so happened that he was the judge on Pop Stars at the same time, or I think. So him and Mark Holden were having a beauty of a row just outside the room at the Logies. And I just happened to walk past it. It was the worst time in the world. So I said to Molly, I said, mate, opinions are like buttholes, buddy. Everyone's got one.
That was the Pop Stars they brought back because Idol was going so
well. Idol was going so well. That's
and that
exactly
was a complete
what
shit sandwich, that show, when it came back.
It was a shit sandwich, absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, it was the first one and it paved the way for Idol, I guess.
The early ones were successful, but when they brought that particular one back that Molly was on, it was a disaster because they were just trying to copy Idol, off the back of Idol, and it was horrendous. Oh
yeah, I thought there was going to be a punch on between him and Mark Holden, but they were competing judges, and they were into it. It was really funny, really funny.
That would have been good to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was good. It was very, very entertaining for a second.
Cosima, speaking of independent releases, you've just released a new song. I Want to Spend My Lifetime With You. Beautiful song with a guy called Greg Gould, and produced by Michael Tan, who of course
Michael Tan. He's my keyboard player. Yeah, he's such an amazing guy, isn't he?
See, Perthian.
He is too. Absolutely.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah. So how did you go with that song, Dull? I haven't heard that one yet. I must give it a listen as soon as we finish.
Good. Look, we recorded it a few years ago, Shivers. I think my daughter was like 1 and now she's 5. But then COVID hit, and we kind of I've been doing a couple of collaborations. So we really love that song, so we released it. then I did another one with JD Smith, who's part of the 10 Tenors, and it's called Next to Me. So I'm just, I just love collaborating at the moment.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Really fun, because people say to me all the time, they're like, another season of Idol, another season of Voice, how can you have all these singers? And I just tell people the same thing. I'm like, music is so eclectic.
Yeah.
You can have 1 million singers and every singer will have its audience.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so lately I just love doing shows with, different artists and recording with them because it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Fun. Duets are fun. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I've sort of found myself playing just at home acoustically. Blake, my young bloke's been getting right into it as well. So, and now because he's into it, I'm playing a lot more too. But we've really found that joy again that we started with when my brothers and I were young, just sitting around the lounge room at home together, singing and playing together. So it's really great to get back to those basics and really find the joy in music that's kicked it all off, if you know what I mean, because it can. When you've got a gig after gig on the road and on tour and that sort of thing, and then you finish that and you go straight to a studio, you do get a little bit burned out at times. So it's great to be able to find that joy that and reasoning why you started in the first place.
That's right. And when you're singing with other artists, it's really, really fun.
Yeah. So Cosima, tell us what else you're up to at the moment, Dale. You're a music teacher as well.
Yes. So I've been doing that for a few years. I do love that. I love that. I don't know. I love sharing what I know and with other students that are, ridiculously talented.
Yeah.
Then, they come to me and they ask me things and I can answer them because I've been through it. And it's a good, just recording and writing and so it's really fun.
Yeah. Shannon, I think you met one of Cosima's students on the bus a couple of weeks ago.
It was so funny. I was on a flight, and a young lady who was the stewardess came up to me, and we'd been doing the podcast, and we had you in the sights to get in contact to come on the show because we're really keen. I was really keen to get you on the show as well. And then out of nowhere, she just came up and she went, "Oh, Cosima's my singing teacher." And I went I was sitting there gobsmacked because I just went. We'd just been talking about getting her on the show. And I, because we haven't sort of had much contact in 20 years nearly, and all of a sudden it felt meant to be for me, you know what I mean? Out of the blue, this girl comes up and I said, "Have you got a number?" And she went, "Yeah, I'll give it to you." And I went, "Wow." It was just like jaw dropping because it was just like something like supposed to happen. So it was such an amazing thing to happen.
Oh, she sent me a photo and she's like, "Look who I just met." So lovely. And I'm like,
oh, bless her. Yeah, she's a lovely girl too. That was great. I thought that was just fantastic.
It's so good. So good. Yeah. Degrees of separation.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of this, but being a mum obviously is like
take priority.
Yeah. It's a major priority, obviously. But I always get my gigs in and my music and it's just now I'm obviously because I'm a mum, I'm a little bit more picky and choosy about what I can and can't do.
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't, as much as I love my music, I don't want to have any regrets either with my daughter. I want to make sure that I'm there. And but so a little, it's good. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, I fully understand that. I think early in the piece, I spent so much time overseas. Like even though I went to Toy Warehouse in New York, came back with some pretty nifty toys, I had to completely win the boys over again. They were 4 and 3. And it was so hard. They were just sort of going like, "Well, you're away," like, you know what I mean? So like we're having so much fun, and then you're left for 2 months, sort of thing. So I've really sort of wound it back a bit now with the little bloke. So I'm home a lot more, and you can pick and choose the gigs that you want to do and the gigs that make sense the most to keep that balance in order,
Yeah, that's right. And also because my parents were in Perth. I mean, they've just moved to Sydney, which is wonderful. But I have my mum here. So my daughter, from when she was born, she was coming to gigs with me. And, playing and drums and she's sleeping in the cot and people are like, "Shouldn't she be in bed?" I'm like, "Well, you have a choice."
Yeah, absolutely. She's
grown up around that. Like that's all she knows. So if I don't bring her now, she gets really upset. Show and there's a big banner of me. Like she'll go up to the owner and go, "Where's my face?"
Oh, does she? That's right.
the drums, and I'm thinking, oh no, I think she's going to be a drummer. She just comes all the time. I'm like, please no.
Yeah, that's great. So now, what's the future hold? Any more more releases or anything?
I'd like to, yes. I'd like to when I get my sanity in check. I want to be able. Yeah, I want to do a little bit more writing and look. I'm not so much like we were talking before. I'm not so much into producing full blown albums anymore because to me, and other people disagree with me. But I'm just thinking I like to just release singles because I'm thinking you spend money on an album, and they're just different times. It's not the same as before.
No, they are. They absolutely are.
So and store and buy it, and no one can distribute it.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Singles. I don't even focus on full-blown albums anymore. Maybe when, if you're part of a record label, it is very different. I respect that. But I just tend to kind of, I'll produce a song and release it. Produce a song and release it. That's kind of like now.
Well, a lot of the big acts are doing that too. I think, they'll do 3 or 4 singles and then put out an EP, just of them singles. So they're sort of getting 2 bites of the cherry, but they're only the singles, because a lot of times these days too, you back in the day, you'd buy an album for, $28 or $30 or whatever, but you're buying it for one song. Now you put an album out and they just download that one song. So the others are a bit of a waste of money.
Stream it, mate. You're showing your age. Stream it.
Yeah, stream it, mate, or stream it, you know what I mean? Yeah. I am showing my age. I'm old, mate. Don't worry about that.
Hey, just going back to Dicko for a sec. He's currently in the jungle doing I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Shannon, you also, of course, did that show back in the day.
Yep.
Cosima, if you were ever asked to go into the jungle, do you reckon you'd do it?
Can I be honest with you? People
absolutely
would be pissing themselves laughing. Scared of everything. Snakes, spiders, and drinking anything. I'd be like,
yeah. Oh, I had to tell someone this morning I drank a bull's cock milkshake over there. I'll never forget that. That was a horror thing. I had to drink. It was like drinking a glass full of vomit. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
He's doing a great job, but I'm really stoked for Dicko. I can't wait to talk to him when he comes out, you know what I mean? Because they're back over in South Africa again now. They're back where I filmed, and I think they're doing the longest 6-week version as well, which is a damn sight bigger grind than a few other years that they've shortened it and had it in Queensland, you know what I mean? So they're back over there. So it's once again bringing a lot of memories back for me of my time over there, but it was an amazing experience. But I'll tell you what, just looking at the size of those little tiny bags of rolled oats for breakfast, I'm going, I don't miss the hunger. The hunger was just an absolute killer. You were hangry all the time.
If I did it, people would just be laughing their heads off the entire.
Be careful, you might get an offer if you keep it up.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
God, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Cosima De Vito, thank you so much. It's so great to see you. It's been so long. You haven't changed a bit, by the way. I look like a drop pile compared to you. If you're 1 year younger than me, I'll tell you, I've had a damn sight harder 20 years than you have. But thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show. I was really excited about seeing you again and getting you on the show, and it's been an absolute joy to have a chat, to see where you're up to, and see how happy you are in life, and see you just doing so many great things. So thank you so much for coming on.
Shannon, it was good to see you too. Thank you.
Absolutely, done. You take care. And we'll have to catch up next time I'm in Sydney, and we should even have a chat about doing a song together one time. It'd be great.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
What? Me. Yes.
There you go. Great to see you, darling. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Thanks so much, Cosima. I got to say,
tell me,
it is just so great just sitting on the sidelines here, seeing you two reconnect after 20 years, the smile on your faces while we've been doing this. Great. It's been just wonderful to watch.
Man.
That's great. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, hon. You're a legend.
Thanks, guys.
See you, darling. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. How good was that? That's amazing. Oh, well, guys, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, please like and follow this podcast on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast, and give it a rating. Once again, the new single's out today, so if you can go and give that a listen, that'd be fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the support the Australian public's ever given me. That's the only reason that I'm here. That's why I love you all so much, because it means the absolute world to me, and I'm thankful every day. So really, thanks, Tim, again, buddy. Thank you. I really appreciate it, mate. And we'll look forward to your company next time. Thanks very much, guys.
When